Survival of the fittest. That's the sign of the police. I'm in deep cover earth. Skirt, lean back. Give me one more chance. They say Jesus walks and the devil wear Prada, but I'm so deaf. God can't tell me nothing. Right this on my death certificate. I gave you power. 21 questions like who? The warning. Watch them flashing like paparazzi. Two words. Get money. Tonight's the night. Guess who's back on my block? Rather unique. Bucktown. This on that quiet storm. T-O-N-Y. Top of New York with a pitchfork.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. We are just moments away from what should be an excellent matchup between the Los Angeles Chargers and the Atlanta Falcons. With that, let's get up to Atlanta. We're standing by at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, thanks, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. A few moments ago, it was Desmond Trufant of the Falcons making their way out of the tunnel to the delight of this sold-out crowd as his guys get set to do battle with Phillip Rivers and the Los Angeles Chargers. Up in the booth with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and kickoff straight ahead, CD. What's one thing that you're going to have your eye on?
I think about what the great coaches of the past always said. The key to any ball game. Can you rush theirs and protect yours? Well, in this case, both of these teams get after the quarterbacks. I'm watching the pass rush.
Here's Bosher to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Time to focus in on Phillip Rivers as he brings out the Chargers offense. And looking back to week 4, Rivers passed John Elway to move into 8th place all-time in passing yards. And the two guys ahead of him now in 6th and 7th, both active, both from his draft class, Charles. Eli Manning and Ben Roethlisberger.
Yeah, so when you start about draft classes with quarterbacks, obviously 1983 comes up big. I mean, it's got its own show, all right? People talk about it all the time. Elway, of course, was part of that. But this class of 2004, that's Eli Manning, Ben Roethlisberger, and, of course, Phillip Rivers, giving a pretty good run for their money, aren't they?
Yeah, quite a few wins, quite a few Super Bowls in that crew. And we get a quick look at the Chargers starting offense.
I have to admit, I've rather enjoyed watching Melvin Gordon's improvement as he's developed as an NFL player because it started for me in college. Every year he was in school, he would add something extra to his game. First year, he knew how to run. He wanted to add pass receiving to his game. The next year, he wanted to add pass protection to his game. Did all of that. That turned him into a first-rounder, and now a front-line NFL back.
Man open left side. It's Williams. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one goes for 24 yards. A nice little completion there by Phillip Rivers. And you and I were reading the article yesterday, 5th grade. Rivers had to do a project where he had to make a poster about his dreams and aspirations, so he clipped out a football player from a magazine article and pasted his face on the helmet. That's what he wanted to be, and it turned out okay.
Not so bad at all. Remember, he's the son of a coach. And on that play, I think he made the old coach proud with that completion.
Rivers on first down. Over the middle, he's got Tyrell Williams. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. Partner, your thoughts on this D-line?
I love a unit that can control the run and get after the passer. This is an all-around terrific defensive front. Hard to move the ball against them on the ground, and then when you want to throw it, look out. Here they come after the quarterback.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Working out of the gun, Rivers, and caught by Henry. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a first down as well. For Henry, of course, it was a tough year. The torn ACL in late May and the Chargers' first full workout of the year. He did have a pretty remarkable recovery, though, to get ready for the postseason.
He actually was activated for the division round loss to the Patriots less than 8 months after the injury. But how about what his injury did? Started a domino that brought Antonio Gates back to the Chargers this season, where he had another fine season. But imagine if they had Gates and Henry playing in tandem.
Play fake to Gordon. Now Rivers. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked up by Keanu Neal. And it's a good return here as he'll get all the way up close to the 35. The intended receiver there, Allen, certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Ryan will bring the Falcons up now 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. After the interception, here's Ryan. Getting it out left side to Sanu. And he showcases the spin. A pretty good game before he's taken down. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. A fake to Freeman. Now it's Ryan. Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down. Melvin Ingram in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result?
Sack.
Quarterback gets hit.
So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons. From the shotgun, Ryan. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Adrian Phillips.
That was a really nice interception. I think it illustrates the differences between playing man and playing zone. When you're in man, all you're focused on is the receiver in front of you. But when you're in zone, you're allowed to read the quarterback's eyes and go to the ball. That's exactly what happened on that play.
Chargers offense returns to the field, and earlier, Charles, you and I were talking about Phillip Rivers and his season and his age and all of that. But if you look at the Chargers season, yes, they fell short against the Patriots, but they had a pretty good year.
To put it mildly, I mean, can you imagine finishing 12-4? And not only did they not win their division championship, they ended up being seeded number 5 in the playoffs and had to go on the road twice. Won at Baltimore, lost in New England. 12-4 usually gets you at least one home field game. Didn't even happen, yet they were managing to win a playoff game and serving notice to the rest of the league. They plan to be around in 2019. Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game. Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good, and this will remain a scoreless game.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
For the Falcons, Charles, we talked all year about the injuries that they had in 2018, and you kind of touched on it earlier, too. It's hard to get around them, though, when you look back at this past year. So they go to 7-9, and I know that that's not what they wanted, but with all the injuries, is that okay?
It would be if you didn't think you were going to the Super Bowl. You know, if you didn't think you had a chance at that, and they did going into the season. But when you lose your starting safeties in Ricardo Allen and Keanu Neal, your middle linebacker, Deion Jones, for a long stretch of time, you end up starting 1-4. Then in the second half of the season, you have a 5-game losing streak. 7-9 is actually better than I thought that they were finishing because of those 2 long losing streaks.
Off the play fake to Freeman. It's Ryan. He may try and run for this. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the 1st down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Chargers offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. So he's 3 for 7 throwing the football right now. Not an awful start, but also not the sharpest of starts.
No, I would agree with that. But if you're a confident quarterback and to play that position you have to be, you just act like there's something wrong with the wind currents or something wrong with the ball. It is not you. Keep throwing. That timing usually develops.
No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. And this is their 3rd drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a 1st down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a 1st down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Off the play fake. Here's Ryan. And now he'll tuck it and run. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a 1st down.
Offensively, they like their situation, so they tried to take a shot downfield, but no one was open. So it was tuck it and run time, and he picks up a 1st down.
Throwing now. Ryan on 1st down. That's caught over the middle. Hooper. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
They had 2 tight ends in the formation on that one. It looked to me like he had his pick of receivers downfield.
I think he was just planning on going over the middle. That's what he did.
Picked up 1st down, too.
On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. And finding the tight end, Hooper. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a 1st down again.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. From the gun, it's Ryan. The quick slant caught. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
So a turnover-filled first quarter of play comes to an end. 0-0 our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the Sports Fuel Company.
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Falcons in possession to begin quarter number 2, and they'll come up looking to keep this drive moving. Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. Again, Ryan. And he will score. Touchdown, Falcons. Matt Ryan taking it in from a yard out. And the Falcons are in for 6.
That was not a designed run. It was supposed to be a pass, but it turned into an exceptional run. What a scramble for a touchdown.
Now Matt Bryant on for the point after. Bryant tacks on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Here's Bosher to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. And we spotlight Keenan Allen as he gets set to go back to work. Looking down at the stats here, realizing he has no catches. They targeted him twice, but no catches. So how do they get him more involved, Charles?
You make sure he touches it on routes that he likes to run. Maybe even run a reverse or some type of a jet sweep so he gets his hands on the ball and get him active and involved in the game. You just try and find ways to get him going, and it doesn't have to be something that's big downfield.
Maybe kind of like in basketball, just a shooter seeing the ball go through, you get him a rep, get him more comfortable.
I agree with that totally. Maybe set that solid screen and give him an easy look.
Well, to this point, no catches. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. But with that incompletion, let's look back, Charles, to the NFC title game. We had 2 excellent conference championship games, but on the NFC side, the Rams winning in overtime thanks to Greg Zuerlein. He had 2 huge kicks, but that was really overshadowed because afterwards, obviously, everyone talking about the no call.
Yeah, and we should be talking about Legatron. A 48-yarder to get them to overtime. The 57-yarder to win it in overtime. He should be the guy who should be exalted right now, but you're exactly right. Nickel Roby-Coleman's hit on Tommy Lee Lewis in regulation. When I saw it live, that was a bang-bang play.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Grady Jarrett able to track him down for a loss of 13, and it'll bring up 4th down. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone. And
just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They run. Devontae Freeman. Freeman with a fast feet, and he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
He completes it to Julio Jones. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. 21 guys this year in the NFL over 1,000 yards receiving, and it was Jones that topped them all. What did he have, just over 1,600?
Yes, 1,677 yards, the second highest total of his career. He had 1,871 in 2015. You know, I've always called him Secretariat. You see it on display each and every time he plays for the Falcons.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. On second down, here's Ryan. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down.
Someone knew exactly where he needed to get to pick up that first down now. I'm not so sure about the technique in getting there, but he went for it, and he got it.
Exactly. He knew where he needed to get, because remember, if he slides, when that he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Tevin Coleman, a 13-yard touchdown run, and the Falcons will extend their lead. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
Here's Bryant for the extra point. Bryant's extra point up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. That time a 6-play drive. And Tevin Coleman polished it off with a touchdown run. Here's Bosher to kick it away. Now Austin Eckler on the return. Able to slither by. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Melvin Gordon now, he and the offense, they trot back out there. He's just been looking for some space. I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Now Rivers. This is Gordon on the dump off. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. Give him 7 on the play, and it's a second down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Now a second down throw for Rivers. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Here you go, man.
It appears they found something that's working, and they keep going back to it. I guess you can actually say he has the hot hands now, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, it's one thing to hit your guy out of the backfield once, hit him a couple times. Yeah, you're right. Maybe they're onto something.
And I think a lot of that is simply if you get it to him in space, more times than not, he's going to get more yardage than you expect out of each play. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Mike Williams that time, and it's third down.
I would say it'd probably be a good idea for him to reintroduce himself to his receivers at the half because they're definitely on different wavelengths. But I also don't advocate waiting that long. Next series, before you get out there, hey, let's get together, guys. Let's get this thing moving.
Open man, it's Allen. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. They convert on third with a gain of 22. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end, Pat. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. Tech McKinley able to drop him for a loss of 4.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
It's been such an impressive first half to get that lead. And that's complete to the right side. It's Allen. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Now, that's something of a pick-me-up. The offense certainly has struggled, but they do get the field goal before half to put 3 on the board.
Yeah, you don't want to be shut out, but let's face it, those 3 points, that's not going to solve all their problems either.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Matt Ryan and the offense heading back onto the field. They've got the lead. He's a big reason why. Looking sharp so far.
And as we travel around the league, we see quarterbacks get it done in a variety of ways. But today's NFL does tell us one thing. If that guy doesn't play well, their team's not going to win. And right now he's got his team in the lead.
And now they'll look to extend that lead. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Well, the upcoming Super Bowl, so many storylines, but one that obviously grabs you. Sean McVay just turned 33 January 24th, youngest coach ever to take a team to the Super Bowl. Double that age for Bill Belichick, who's 66. And, Charles, that's the largest gap between coaches in Super Bowl history.
Yeah, and when you think about it, obviously the age comes into play. But to me, it's more the experience. The number of times that the Patriots have gone to the Super Bowl with Belichick leading them versus Sean McVay's first time in the Super Bowl leading the Rams. Will that game experience come into play at all? But I do like this about Sean McVay. Raised in the game, raised up through the NFL system, no matter how young he might.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Melvin Ingram in there to drop him for his second sack now here tonight. Here's Matt Bosher now as he'll punt it away for the second time. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to Atlanta right after this timeout. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll pay a visit to Jonathan Coachman. He's in Orlando, and he'll have our EA Sports halftime report. Here's Matt Bosher now as he'll kick it away for the second time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Pulled in at the 24. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. Here now a look at Melvin Gordon. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
It's been my observation. There's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they had incompletions on first and second down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to...
Down the numbers. There he goes. And all the way in for a Charger touchdown. Hunter Henry, 44 yards. And the Chargers are able to make this a close game again. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Extra point right down the middle, and that makes it a 14-10 ball game. The lead cut to just 4 as they kick it away and turn things over to their D. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Matt Ryan and the offense heading back onto the field. He's got to be feeling pretty good, playing well. Team has the lead, so just looking to mount a drive here that ends in the end zone.
And all quarterbacks will tell you, hey, we love a running game, helps us out. But at the end of the day, they want to rely on their arm, throw the football, feel good about things, keep things moving in the right direction. Right now, that's exactly what we're seeing.
And we'll see if that continues. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11. He already has 2 sacks to his credit. Now another tackle for loss.
And you know how you can always identify who was supposed to block him? They're the ones helping up the person who just got knocked to the ground with the ball, right? Whether it's a running play or a pass play, they've got to figure out a way to slow him down. Maybe you chip him with a second guy. Maybe you just out-and-out double him. Maybe you make sure you take the ball and throw it as far away from him as possible. Because right now, he is wrecking things for them.
On 3rd down, it's Coleman. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. They'll throw on 1st down with Ryan. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there. It's 2nd down. Now they'll throw it with Ryan. They call that a loss of 6 yards. And it's 3rd down now. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play, as we'll get a timeout. As they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. The Falcons on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is going to be 3rd and 13. They go play action now. Ryan. It's caught. Jones. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half. So even though it's 1st down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. On the right hash, officially this will be a 51-yard attempt. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good, and this score will stay right where it is. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10.
And this is one of the risks you run when you attempt a long field goal. If you miss, the defense takes over the spot of the placement. So now they've got a chance to get one more drive in before halftime.
The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked up by DeMonte Kazin. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. So we're at halftime here in Atlanta with the Falcons out in front. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to an abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This game's had a little bit of everything thus far, and certainly plenty to look forward to, as the teams are right back out there for the second half. So we'll get right back out there as well, as we'll turn it back over to Brandon Godden.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Falcons back to receive. They've got the lead, and they'll get this football as the second half gets underway. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And here now come the Falcons. And they've got to be a little bit frustrated about that last drive, missed field goal.
Always hurts a team because, you know, you've put something out there, you've given yourself a chance, you're in range, and the ball doesn't go through the post. but it's not something to panic about, I don't believe. Just keep playing and keep going.
Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Third quarter starts with a run by Freeman. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. On 2nd down, Ryan. And Jones has it over the middle. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Ryan to Jones, the Falcon connection there for a first. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Freeman. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case.
And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes. Joey Bosa coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down.
That would be exactly what they were looking for coming out to start the third quarter. Get a sack, get off the field, get the momentum going in their direction.
Get the ball back to your offense, right? Get that momentum because, hey, this lead is very, very slim. 45 yards, that's what the punt goes for. 5 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So Rivers will lead the Chargers up 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. He'll start the drive with a run by Gordon. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Gets it up around the 22, but no further. Did flash the fancy footwork, but not much to show for it. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. The Chargers on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. From the shotgun, it's Rivers going underneath for Gordon. And they'll get him down here at the 23. They'll give him a yard on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. Do you like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Fielded just inside the 20. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
To throw is Ryan. Over the middle, complete. That's Jones. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And a nice gain of 21 yards. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately, They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Now Ryan on second down. Looking left side, he's got it. Complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a first down.
I don't know whether I want to be a fly on the wall or not when they hear the explanation of how one of the bigger targets on the field, the tight end could be that wide open and uncovered downfield. Who blew that assignment?
Somebody did.
No doubt about it. There's no way you're not going to account for him.
On first down, Ryan swings it out to the flat for Freeman. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. 2nd and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. Ryan on the handoff. It's Freeman. Oh, eluding the tackle. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. 18 yards there, and it'll be a first and goal.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves,
and he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Devontae Freeman, an 8-yard touchdown run. And the Falcons will add on to their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Bryant tacks on the extra point, and that makes it a 21-10 game. A drive that time of 6 plays, and it ends in a touchdown run from Devontae Freeman. Here's Bosher to kick it away. Here's Eckler to return it. So quick on the spin.
Oh, he's spinning, man.
And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
On second down, they'll run with Gordon. They'll get 3 up to midfield.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And this complete to Henry over the middle. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
Ryan will bring the Falcons up now, 1st and 10 at the 20. Here's Ryan to throw. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete. He was looking for Mohamed Sanu there, and that'll bring up second down. Well, partner, after the conference championship games, there was a lot of talk about the overtime rules, understandably so. Do you think that anything needs to be changed in the NFL overtime situation?
I don't think so. And you got to remember, I'm an old crone, all right? So here's the deal on it. The NFL jumped into popularity with an overtime game, the Baltimore Colts being the New York Giants. Back in, what was it, 1959, 58, 59? That's when the NFL really came into prominence, and it was sudden death. Alan Amici, the Colts got the ball, they scored. No one talked about anything but, boy, what an exciting game. As time went on, people started talking about fairness. So the overtime rule finally got changed. If you score first with a touchdown, the game's over. Otherwise, you keep playing. I think that's pretty cool. And in our 2 championship games this year, we had overtime in both. Tom Brady and the Patriots won the toss, went downfield, scored a touchdown, ball game. Drew Brees and the Saints won the coin toss, threw an interception. The Rams kicked the field goal and won. Defense still exists if you care to play it.
Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Falcons. They've got the football. They've got the lead as we get set to start the 4th. Here's Matt Bosher now. He's been terrific so far. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line. The Chargers offense gets set. They head back onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting. I guess it's good we can't really read the mind of the defensive coordinator now, huh?
Had him pinned back there deep, give up that run. Can't be happy.
Yeah, whatever's in his mind right now, we probably couldn't say over the air.
Got a man over the middle. It's Williams. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. 23 yards on the play. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
They go play action here on first down. Incomplete. He was looking for his tight end, Hunter Henry. And now it's second down.
I'm not even sure I know who this guy is out there playing right now. This is very unlike him, one of the most accurate guys in the league. Totally off his game right now.
I don't know. I was going to ask you what you pin it on, but defensively, they've been pretty solid.
Well, sometimes, you know, those defenders, they get into the receivers pretty well, and if they chip away at their timing, it's going to affect what you're doing throwing the ball as well.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a first down.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it, and it took the ball off course.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
And once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. They'll get a couple yards on that one. And just like that, it's third down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
On third down, Rivers. He's got a man. It's Williams. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. And they're able to convert on third with a solid gain of 23. And in a two-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to third down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And it'll be a 3rd and about 13. The Chargers on 3rd down. They've converted a 1/3 of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is going to be 3rd and 13. From the gun, Rivers. Pout. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Robert Alford.
Well, you're trailing. It's the 4th quarter, and you've got to throw the football. But the defense knows this, too. So they're just going to sit back, bring in an extra defensive back or two, the old nickel or dime strategy, Brandon, and wait for you to put that bad boy up for grabs. And this one winds up being intercepted.
The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. He'll be tackled shy of the 35. Shifty footwork gets him a little extra on the play. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back at New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. That goes for a gain of 31.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35. The Falcons on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 9. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down. Melvin Ingram bringing the pressure again, and that is his 3rd sack here tonight.
Brandon, more often than not, you'd say they've had his number, and we can count them up so far. 1, 2, 3, 4 sacks given up. But guess what? He's still been able to make some plays, and right now they have a lead.
now gears up to take the offense back out there. With his guys trailing here in the fourth, he can ill afford a repeat of the interception that ended the last drive.
Yeah, you're 2 scores down. You take it upon yourself now to play perfect or near-perfect football if you want to get your team back into the game. But it's also tough to do when you're trying to avoid errors, yet still play perfect football.
Wide open, it's Allen, complete. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. That one goes for 24 yards. A good start there on this fourth quarter drive. They need more of what we just saw.
Down a couple of scores. There's still time, all right? It's not like they're totally out of it, but they have to score quickly, and they're going to need some big-time plays, chunk plays, explosive plays. They need yardage on each snap.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Henry. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. He had their lone TD earlier. Now he's got a first down. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
And to the right side here, it's Allen. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Okay, so now the question, how did he get that wide open?
Well, we both know that he shouldn't, because from the time they handed out scouting reports before this game, he was circled, starred, everything. Find him, cover him. But sometimes you can scheme a guy open. You put the receivers in a bunch. Maybe you move some motion. Maybe you put them on the backside of a formation, and all of a sudden you've got a better matchup. Every now and then, the offensive guys, they figure a way to get him open, even with everyone keeping eyes on him.
And that's certainly a guy they want to keep trying to scheme open. Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning.
390.
Now Gordon on first down. So he got free of 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. It's a gain of a yard, and it takes us to the 2-minute warning. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now a second down throw for Rivers. His pass caught at the 4. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. On 3rd and 1, here's Rivers. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. So you knew one way or another that they needed the 2 scores. They get the easy one out of the way. Now they'll get the ball back, hopefully.
Yeah, and the question is, how do you accomplish that? Do you onside kick it? Or since you have all 3 timeouts, do you kick it deep? To me, I'm playing field position. With all 3 timeouts, I kick it deep and try and pin them back there.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. On second down, Freeman. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts, and they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. On the heels of that good carry by Devontae Freeman, here's 1st and 10. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. Chargers going to use their third and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. The Falcons in victory formation as they take a knee. An extra defensive back on the field for the Chargers now on 3rd down. And the play clock running very low, so Dan Quinn decides to call for a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Ryan heads down to a knee, and that should wrap this one up.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. It's a win for the Falcons here as we say so long from Atlanta.